but you talked about statistics, and I did share with you, Mike, yesterday a little graphic that I had researched. If I may take a few moments of your time just to share it with the audience who's watching now, and it has to do with the composition of some very key leadership posts. The graphic, I posted it on Twitter as well under the PRSA statement letter that was sent out a couple of days ago, and it's starting to get a few views and a few click-throughs as I've seen, but basically it lists out every single actual chairmanship of power, the individuals who actually set the agendas, set the budgets, set the priorities, organizational priorities. And basically it says, who is the national chair of the Public Relations Society of America? A white man. President of the PRSA Foundation? A white man. Steering committee chair of the Diversity Action Alliance, funded by PRSA member dollars and the PRSA Foundation? A white man. PRSA's staff CEO and the highest paid executive in PRSA National? A white man. PRSA's staff CFO, a white man, actually the same white man who also serves as CEO, so he basically reports to himself. PRSA's National Nominating Committee chair, who wields significant influence over who gets chosen for future PRSA National Board slots, a white man. Chair of PRSA's Grievance Committee, who you would go to register a complaint, a white man. Chair of PRSA's International Conference, a white man. Chair of PRSA's Honors and Awards Committee, who select who get or who receive awards and accolades from the organization, a white man. PRSA National Chair-elect and the dually serving chair of PRSA's Audit Committee, a white woman. So there's, I guess, the diversity choice in the litany. And again, there are other leaders, other board members of PRSA, other chairmanships of certain committees that are not, the answer isn't a white man or maybe even a white woman, but these are the positions that set the agenda, determine what's discussed in board meetings, discussed who gets keynote slots at the international conference. They are the ones who decide where the money goes, where the money is invested, what gets funded and what does not. So, I find it just tremendously sobering to see this. And so I'm just hopeful that we can see systemic change. And I guess as we wrap up our discussion here, I would love to have just a few comments from you about what is the call to action for the white men and the white women and, those who are, currently in leadership who really need to have an introspective look.
Deloitte and McKinsey did some amazing best practices approach studies that you've seen that I've mentioned all over the place. Just put in Deloitte and diversity and McKinsey and diversity. People are like, I haven't read it. That's where you find it. It'll pop up. It gives you the best practices approach, and many of which are coming from large corporate clients who've been dealing with this issue for decades. It's not new. We don't need more awareness. We don't need to have more panels that don't have solutions in them. We need to have some of the top executive search people of color come in and help us find good people. When you say you don't know where to find them, you're paying for the white guys. Why wouldn't you pay for other executives of color? Especially when the research from McKinsey and Deloitte says when you do diversity, equality, and inclusion, from intern and every level in between, including the board, you make on average, which means some make even more, 1/3 more money on average. What I've said, almost like in street vernacular to shake my clients, and some of them are very powerful men in corporate world, in the government world, guys, what that means in street talk is the only reason why you wouldn't do it, because you love to make 1/3 more money, right, as a CEO. The only reason why you wouldn't do it that would hold you back is prejudice and racism. And I know that sounds harsh, but you prove to me what other reason why you wouldn't want to make 1/3 more money. Study after study after study proving so. We haven't gotten more people like me coming into the profession. I just put a challenge out, like I'm digging out an eyeball to the DAA group, to each agency and corporate communications division, no matter what your size. Stop that excuse. Stop saying your lawyer's not allowing you to do it. You're the leader. Your lawyer gives you advice. You make the final decision. One senior executive, VP or above, of color by 2022. That's the challenge. Sign a pledge to it. And we're talking about PR, not PRSA, PR Council, and the Paid Society. What we're really talking about, the top 50 firms or 100 firms in the country and the top 100 corporations. If each got one, we'd have hundreds of leaders of color helping everyone make 1/3 more money or more by 2022. That is absolutely doable, and I'm going to apply pressure like a thumb on everyone's back, like I'm MLK of the industry if I have to do it alone. Thank God I have a lot of people that are saying, Mike, we'll help you any way I can. Thanks for being the person out front, because I can't look at my little boy and say, I'm worried about you working in the profession. It was harsh for your dad. I wouldn't have picked the profession again if I had to pick it all over again. I don't want to be that guy 20 years from now. Every time I talk about it, the attitude you hear in my voice now is my son.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're thinking about loving each other like family, that's the ultimate message. Don't think there's some rule book you got to have everything written down. That's the answer to the Tennessee firm. That's the answer to PRSA leadership. And the challenge for everyone in PRSA is simply this. If you don't pay your dues, starting in 2021, until, even if your affinity group is more white women, if for some, it's senior executives of color. For some, it's those that are in the military. If for some, it's those that are gay. If you're not getting what you deserve, the economic impact is important. And there was a question or a comment earlier about economics. It's not the only thing, but I can assure you, right now, it's one of the most important things. What can I do to help? I don't want just a sorry. I don't want you to black out your page on Facebook. I want you to help somebody to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you help them to get a job, especially senior people who are qualified in our profession, they can buy their own health care. Do you see them as equal, and are you willing to each agency get one person VP or above of color into your org? Don't play games like, I'll get a director level. That's an executive, right? I've defined what an executive means. By the way, in an agency, you can be a VP in 5 years, 4 years, some people, some 3. This is absolutely doable. That's our charge. If that happens, we will be in the decision-making room. We will be running P&L. You will have better ideas. You will just become a better person. Because I'm going to learn more about you and you're going to learn more about me. Especially if you're open-minded about being family.